Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm so excited to give you my personal relevance speech today. As I start, I want to give a little disclaimer. I'm sorry I wasn't in the Zoom call. I never got the link. I checked email, also checked the announcements. I never received anything, and I've been kind of waiting to hear anything, so I'm just gonna record it and post it and hope that works because I'm not really sure what else to do. So let's begin. My title of my speech is Living with OCD. Okay, so what does it feel like to have OCD? First off, I'm going to talk about how the brain works having OCD, then therapy treatment, and my story of living with OCD. So I want to start off by telling you a little bit more about OCD. I found my research from International Foundation of OCD, which will kind of help put into play a little bit of facts, and so you guys can understand a little bit more about OCD and what it's like. So I hope you enjoy and you learn a little bit, and it will help you to know a little bit more. So research shows that OCD does run in families, and that genes likely play a role of development in the disorder. Genes appear to be the only responsible for causing the disorder, though no one really knows what other factors might cause OCD. Perhaps an illness or ordinary life stresses may induce the activity of the genes associated with the symptoms of OCD. Some of the experts say that begins in childhood. Most OCDs, by the way, come from childhood. They say about 45 to 60% of cases come from your childhood, 18 or younger. Also, it says about adulthood is about 27 to 47%. Most of the time, that's not as likely to have a diagnosis in adulthood. It's usually they've received it later in life or had tendencies in childhood. So about, on average, 2 to 3 million people in the US suffer from OCD, which is about the size of Texas, which I thought that was quite interesting. I didn't know that myself. One of my favorite researchers that I came across was Anna Soyotu. She's studies like Chinese medicine in the United States, which was kind of cool. One of the things that she said is about 50% of people with OCD get better with treatment, and just 10% recover fully, which is a really, really low number. And it's hard because this treatment is ineffective, partly due to medical professionals still do not understand the condition fully. A new study, however, aims to fill this gap in the research. COVID has taken away many people from receiving mental health treatment, and waiting lines are months away and hospitals are getting full. We need to check in on our friends and family. I'm gonna tell a little bit about therapy, kind of my own story with it. I've been waiting for about a year to be accepted into exposure therapy, which is facing your OCD tendencies. It's hard and it's pretty brutal, but that has been the most effective study of treating OCD. OCD has not fully been studied a lot. There's still stuff researchers don't know. And that's the interesting about this disease is many people don't know the things that go on with people that have OCD. And I thought this was really good to bring to light to people, to know that OCD is not just people that are germaphobes, as like we like to call it. So lastly, I want to talk about my journey with OCD. I was diagnosed at 18 which on average, that is pretty typical what the research says. As I started college and high school, I dealt with it, and it's not been the easiest thing, especially with COVID. My OCD tendencies are going out in public. I am terrified of crowds, and this was before the pandemic. So on my mental health, it was really hard. It was really hard to be isolated from everybody. And I feel like I had to kind of isolate myself because it caused reactions that would just drain me. Days when I'm in crowds, like the next day, I just can't do anything. It's so hard. But I'm learning each day what my triggers are, what things help me to become a better person. I view OCD as a gift because I'm able to learn so much about myself, how articulate I am about doing things. I do things uniquely, and I love that about myself. It's not something I'm ashamed about. It's not something I've talked about, but I kind of want to bring to light that people do suffer from OCD. It's a condition that's not well known, but I hope in the coming years the breakthroughs with OCD will be amazing, and I can't wait to be able to be a part of that and to see how that helps me in the future. But I hope that as you have listened and learned a little bit more about OCD, that you would be able to be understanding to people, to learn to educate yourself on things you don't know, because you never know what you may learn and grow from with learning new things. And I just hope you are able to educate somebody else on OCD. Thank you.